What's up? It's DJ Hoop Dreams, and you ballin' with What's the Word TV.
What's the biggest challenge of being a DJ?
Okay. The hardest thing about being a DJ is definitely the hardest thing about being a DJ is the fact that like people have to constantly book you. That's the hardest thing because if you're not just super popping where everybody want to book you, then you gotta make a way and you gotta use those connections and you gotta do a lot of stuff. And a lot of DJs undercut other DJs like, oh he DJing, all right, bet I'm a DJ for half of what he was gonna DJ for. All right, bet I'm gonna get you then since you cheaper. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that goes on. That's the hardest thing about being a DJ. It's just you dealing with outside factors when it comes to your pay. So, in other scenarios, it's like you're getting paid. So that's the hardest thing. That's why it's important to have your own brand and to do your own things. So you don't really gotta rely on that.
So give us an incident that you had to face something like that, or
I've been in a few scenarios like even with the club scene. I just DJ a little bit in the club scene in Chicago. But like the night that I was doing was Sundays at Shrine, and then that night got closed down, and then the club got closed down. So it's like, if that happens, I'm technically out of the job if that was my only income or whatever. So it'd be a lot of outside factors, and then like touring with artists. I've been in a couple of weird scenarios touring with artists where. Some just ended up going weird, and that situation was just over, like in the snap of a finger.
So what do you mean by over? Like you was DJing for them, and what happened? And
then I kind of stopped DJing for them because of a certain scenario. I don't really want to go too into detail about it, but it's just a lot of outside factors that affect being a DJ.
So right now you don't do like contracts and nothing like that. It's just like handshake or like word of mouth.
No, I do contracts. Like when schools book me, I send them a contract. I can send a contract in 2 seconds on my phone to the school that booked me. And then it's just different when when you a tour DJ with artists, it's very different because it's very particular because it's different for every artist depending on what stage they're at. Some artists, getting paid, a couple hundred per show. Some artists not getting paid per show. Some artists getting 10 G's per show. So it's like, as far as to have me, the terms that I set though, if you want me to tour with you and you're an artist, all my expenses, as far as like all my travel expenses, have to be paid for. So I shouldn't be coming out of pocket anything, and then getting paid, on top of that.
Okay.
So that's the terms that I set. Yeah.
Good. All right. So this is the only right now profession you're doing, or you have something else?
This is the only thing I'm doing.
No side hustles?
Nah, this is the only thing I've been doing since I dropped out. Cause it's kind of tough. Like my situation kind of tough because I randomly go on tour with artists, and it's like you can't really have a job going on tour. I should have a job. I should have had a job. I would love to, but it's just a tough situation. Like tomorrow morning, I'm going to Texas for a whole entire week. So it's like I was just touring with D-Lo for a month and a half, touring with Louis, touring with Alex Wiley. I'm in a tough situation, but it's cool though because I'm learning how to adapt to it. Like I don't think people understand how tough my situation is. Just cause like if I get a job, all right, I can work that job, but then what happens when artists say, "Yo, I want to go on tour with you," you know what I'm saying? Which I've gotten that call 5 different times. So, it's not that I'm preserving myself for an artist, but I'm just more so, figuring out. It's just best for me to work for myself, basically.
So this is a passion, or this is a career? Which one would you?
A passion or a career? It's a passion that I'm trying to turn into a career.
Okay.
So yeah.
So like, okay, let's just say hypothetically, you were given the opportunity to work with an artist. What would be your set? Like, what would you be your set amount to like take off a month?
To take off a month, man, to take off a month. I mean, it depends on the. It all depends on the details. Like, it depends on how many shows it is. Like, to take off a month, it depends on what month. You know, if I got my own stuff going on that month, like if it's December or like, you know, it depends on what month it is. Because if it's an off month for me, I'm a little more lenient. Like, we might do, you know, we could be flexible. But if it's like, let's just say it's a random month, I would probably need like, I would need to do at least 10 shows and be making at least 300 per show. So if I'm gonna take a month off, it gotta be at least 10 shows done, and it gotta be at least 300 per show.
So if you had to give like any advice to a young DJ that's looking at you, what would be your prominent lesson or, you know, speech that you would give them?
Right. The best advice I would give them is really to do it like we were just saying, to do it on your own and not worry about like a promoter or somebody or artist, you know, trying to give you a handout. Like, you just gotta start small and start with what you got. All you got is 3 friends. All right, I'm gonna throw a kickback with these 3 friends. Tell them to invite their people. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta make sacrifices. So, all right, maybe I'm not gonna make money off this, but if they all could say that I DJ'd this, you know, this party and it was turned up or whatever, then maybe that might make them want to book me for when they have a party. You know, and you just gotta start small and build up, and get contacts and network and stuff like that, and let the contacts that you get watch your growth over time. Because there's a lot of people I've hit up, you know, years ago, and they kind of blew me off, but I didn't take that as like, you know, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't all like shiesty about it, and like, you know what I'm saying? I just was like, all right, I need to work harder. I'm gonna let them watch me. I'm gonna let them watch my growth. Then years later, they hit me up like, yo, you know what I'm saying? So
you don't hold a grudge. So you also advise DJs don't hold a grudge. Like, your time will come that the people that turned you down when you working with.
Yeah, I mean, not even just DJs, anybody who, you know, trying to make it in the entertainment industry. Like, don't hold a grudge against, you know, people, because people be lost on the sauce.
What's the word? 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 I'm stepping now. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word?